Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm awake. Are you awake, Luke?
Yep, I'm
All
awake.
right. What is going on, my friend? We got Luke Sparke, director, filmmaker, writer, all that good stuff. He does it all. Hanging out with us in the movie dojo. That's right. Thank you, my friend, for joining us today. This is going to be a lot of fun talking movies with you.
Yeah. I love talking movies.
How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good. It's busy, which is always good.
Yeah. Hey, keeping you busy, right?
Yeah.
Busy making movies?
Yep, that's what I do day in, day
All
out.
right.
Well, try to anyway.
Copy that. Copy that. So yeah, I of course, us here on the channel, we action movies, martial arts, horror, sci-fi. That's what this whole channel is all about. This is what we're all about. This is what we represent. And I love me. Samurai Guy loves him some alien invasion movies. I'm sorry. I'm a fan, right? I like alien invasion movies. I just had earlier this year. I had Liam O'Donnell, the director of the Skyline films, was out here, and he was a guest on the show. So we had fun talking about Beyond Skyline and Skylines. And then I came across a trailer for a movie called Occupation. And I was like, this looked good. I was like, this looked good. I gotta check this out. So I checked it out, had a blast watching it. We're gonna talk about it a little bit in detail, and then we're gonna talk about the sequel, right? The highly anticipated sequel, Occupation Rainfall. We're gonna talk about that as well. But yeah, that's samurai stuff here. But before we get into it here, what got you in the biz, my friend? What got you? You know what? You got the call. You got the calling. I must write, direct, all this good stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of my upbringing. I used to sit in the '80s and watch. There's pictures of me watching Empire Strikes Back on my Return of the Jedi big bag, like constantly when I was sick. There's pictures of me getting the Rancor monster figurine for Christmas. I mean, like I was
Nice.
a huge Star Wars fan, so I won't. There's no point denying that situation. And I grew up in the '80s, like as you know, and the '90s, and I got to witness, Aliens and Jurassic Park and
Oh yeah.
Independence Day and all that stuff. Really, sort of, and sure, for a whole generation, it um, you know, everyone went nuts for that stuff, and I was one of them. Luckily, fortunately enough for me, also, my family had a business where we hired or collected costumes, props for the film industry
Oh, all
and
right.
military style research, history research, and all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
that my father started back in the '70s and '80s. So it's the only job I've ever done working in the entertainment industry. I haven't done anything else. So I sort of like got to grow up working around, being around actors when I was 7 years old. I was playing around in a film set, not
Yeah.
thinking what it was, but it was just that's just the life that I could have had. So I was lucky enough to experience that. And then when I was of age, I got to work on film. So one of my first jobs was working with James Franco and Benjamin Bratt on a war film. And then I got to keep working on films, and I worked on The Pacific with Steven Spielberg for that Band of Brothers sequel.
Nice.
That was a huge experience because that was like 12 months worth of filming and work, and I got to meet all these great HBO directors and pick their brains and all that kind of stuff,
Awesome.
knowing that my trajectory wanted to be a director, not just stay as a costumer. As much as I love doing that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
um, so I got to do all that, and then around the 2014 mark, I decided I had to reject offers to do more costume. And I started to do my own feature film
There you
writing
go.
and stuff. So took the step
Nice.
and did that. So yeah,
Was the at the around the time when you were doing the episodes of the Pacific? Was that where you really started to like getting your feet dirty and just really grinding and slowly getting better and perfecting your craft around that time, or you were doing it
Yeah,
way before that?
definitely. No, definitely. It was the big experience that and if anyone asks me, like the grind that you're talking about, it's definitely the Pacific. Being on set every day, working with like see humongous HBO, the wheelhouse of that was amazing, and it was able to just grind it out and just make it work.
Nice, nice. That's cool. But first, before we get into the movies here, I gotta blow this up for chat and everybody watching. Hold on a second, chat. You see this? Look at this background. Look at this. Yeah, he's one of us. Look at that collection. Is insane. Is that Iron Man's helmet way in the back there?
Way in the background.
Oh, that is. Oh my good. Look at that. Luke. Is that Luke's helmet?
Yep.
Oh man, what a phenomenal collection! People say I got a collection. This is nothing compared to you. You got Hulkbuster. What is it? Is it all? Is it everything geek and pop culture, or do you have some anime in there? Oh my goodness!
Um,
Look at this. We're getting a tour.
pretty much just geek and pop culture. Like anime, yes, but not in this room. I've got it packed away somewhere else.
Yeah.
I got a
Oh,
family, so I got to make sure that I have my space, but everywhere else in the house is obviously family stuff.
right. Right. Hey. Everybody's got to have their own type of man cave, right? You got to do it,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. It
My
helps
house
me. It
is
helps.
small, so this is it. The house is the man cave over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Well,
But that's an awesome collection, man. That is really awesome. So let's get into it here with your movies here. So I came across this. Hold on one second. And this is the first. Is this the first time you worked with Dan Ewing here?
yeah, that was my first movie. That's the one I was talking about that I wrote and directed back in
Right, right, right.
2015.
Now this is looking like right up Samurai Guy's alley here. Is this like a creature feature we got going?
It is a creature feature. It never got released in the US, so you won't be able to find it on any normal channels. But
Oh,
however, we are in the middle of getting it out there now that my films are hitting the market. Everyone's asking me for more content, so it will come to America quite soon.
all
We're actually
right,
working.
awesome. That's
We're
good
actually
news. That's
we're
great
actually
news to
working on
hear.
we're actually working on updating the effects in house at the moment because it was my first movie and the effects were a bit atrocious. Um, and now that I have some guys behind me from Rainfall, we're actually going back in and doing it actually this second, like just this past week. So it will come.
Oh,
It will
that's
come.
exciting. How cool is that? You got Heather Love watching here. What's up, Heather? She says, "Wow, that is an amazing collection." And giving you a little shout out there.
That's cool.
Good. That man, that is great news to hear about this because I love creature features. I can't wait to see what you guys have planned for this.
Yeah.
And looks like we got gonna be some badass action in it. I'm ready. I'm ready. So, do we have maybe a release date? Maybe by next year.
Yeah. Sort of like the first half of next year.
All right, all right. Copy that.
Yeah, I'll
Uh,
get it out to the world, which will be good.
well,
Films.
we need more creature features.
Yeah, exactly. Films for a filmmaker. It takes a long time to go from word to go and finish a film, and when it doesn't kind of get out to the world that you want it to do, it's always a bit
Yeah.
disappointing. So it's great to have the opportunity to go back now, and so people are coming to me asking for stuff. So it's kind of good.
Nice, nice, nice. Now, so what inspired you besides some other movies you probably mentioned
Hmm.
earlier?
Hmm.
What else inspired you? Like, you know what? Let's go sci-fi, straight alien invasion type movie. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, for a kid, like I said, those films I grew up with, but for a kid, living in Australia and looking out the window as I drive home and see lights in the sky and coming out of Independence Day, but thinking, what would it look like for my hometown that I see every day? And there was a glimpse at the end of Independence Day of the Sydney Harbour Bridge and everyone celebrating. And I remember being in the cinema in '96 and the whole Australian crowd like went nuts because it was like the first time kind of we've seen ourselves on like a big sci-fi movie. It was
Yeah,
always like New York and all that kind of stuff.
yeah,
And I always remember that experience. So when after Red Billabong, I was in LA and I was pitching a bunch of other projects that were hugely expensive, more expensive than this one, and people were sort of iffy about it. And then I just sort of on the spot came up with well, I could do an alien invasion film because it's up my wheelhouse, and I've got a background in the military as well, and we've got all this stuff, and sort of just pitched this idea of a small town, you know, a small town group people and follow them rather than like the White House or something else.
Right,
Um,
right,
and my producers also looked around like, "What the fuck is this movie that you're talking about?" Um, and yeah, and then I walked out, and on the way home I started writing it because it is in my wheelhouse, and I do know it quite well, the sci-fi genre. And by the time I got back, I sort of got the treatment together, and away we went.
Nice, nice. I was reading some comments of people that enjoyed the film, and there were some comments where they were saying that they don't get this type of movie a lot in Sydney. So, are you like the first to do something of this scale in your
Yeah,
area?
it's the first alien invasion film for Australia. Yeah.
Wow, wow. So you're in a way kind of a pioneer, getting in a way, right?
In a way, it's always nice. Yeah.
Wow. So this is the
Uh,
first. Well, how awesome is that? How awesome is that? But yeah, I enjoy how the whole, you know, kind of like maybe first 10 to 15 minutes, it's kind of almost like a family friendly movie.
yeah, yeah,
You really did a good job setting it up here. Like a really
yeah,
family friendly. Let's do it. Of course, before the shit hits the fan. You know what I mean? So, I
yeah.
got. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I've heard that before. That it feels like it's a different story, or not a different story, but like family friendly, and then suddenly turns onto the alien.
Yeah, I'm sure that was on purpose, but I definitely got a Red Dawn vibe
Yeah,
from the movie. Were you a fan of Red Dawn?
yeah. I mean, it's probably easy to sort of guess my pitch to the studios. It was like Red Dawn meets Independence Day. You know what I mean?
There
Like
you go.
like
Nice,
that's
nice.
the thing. So like that's what we
Yeah.
went with. And again, Australia hasn't really seen a Red Dawn. There is a book series called Tomorrow When the War Began. They made a movie about, which is Red Dawn esque,
Yeah.
and that did okay. So people like those movies, and that's kind of it started off as a very smaller movie. Occupation did when I pitched it, I just said to the guys, just get $1 million and just go in the bush and just film some aliens and just
Right.
it'll be a Red Dawn thing in the bush. And then Tamir Morrison signs on, sort of as a joke, I was like, oh, we should get, he'd be cool as like, let's get Jake the Muss to be, Peter. And then we're like, oh, he'll never do it. And then he comes back and says, I'm on the Gold Coast and let's meet up and, let's talk
Yeah.
about it. And I was like, oh, okay. And you start sort of getting actors attract actors, and suddenly
Right.
the film's a bit bigger than what I anticipated. So I was always trying to make it bigger as I went along. It was always on the fly. I was running by the seat of my pants through that whole film.
Nice, nice. And it's awesome you got Tamura in here, man. That guy's legend.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen him act bad in anything. I mean, he's that guy. I mean, before he became, Jango Fett, and of course now reprising Boba Fett.
yep,
It's like I was already a fan of this guy. Once We're Warriors, and a movie called Tracker with him and Ray Winstone, and he's just phenomenal. I mean, that guy's just
yeah,
great. Love
yeah,
seeing
yeah.
that guy in everything.
It's always fun when he pops up in movies. My 2.5-year-old loves Moana, and I have to, it makes me laugh every time I see the film. She says she watches it constantly, and then I
Uh
hear
huh.
this, "No one goes beyond the reef," and I'm like, that's Samara. Like it's
Yeah, Tamura's great. But yeah, you have the whole Red Dawn feel to it, and our cast of characters here, great cast too, by the way. I enjoyed everyone in the film, but uh, when I started to get, of course, the alien invasion stuff is always great. It's always fun to see. But when I started to get even more on board with the film, is when we got to the house sequence. So when we got to the house sequence, they're all basically kind of hiding out in there. And our cast of characters thinks that everything's fine and they can just hide out in there until they get discovered by the alien horde, the Greys. And I love that sequence because they're all hiding. They're scared, they're freaking out. And then they're like, you know what? Fuck this. Like that was really the first, like, all right, fuck it. We're going to fight back now, man. Everybody, all these aliens are going down. And then they started to, there was conflict between the characters too. But when you have the greater evil show up, they're like, screw this. We're all working together, man.
Yeah.
Great scene. You got Dan tackling rugby tackling aliens through walls. I mean, let's go.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly how that sequence came about. Was that whole, let's the moment they all decide to sort of, out of necessity, come together, and then later on decide that that's what they're going to do. But yeah, it was a good sequence. Originally in the script, that was just out in the bush somewhere around a campfire,
Yeah.
and again, like I said before, by the seat of my pants, I was like, went to the art department and said, can we have the materials to build a little house set that would be better in a house and better if we could do lights outside, and they did. So yeah, that sort of grew as we went along as well.
Nice. Yeah. But that's when I was like, I'm sitting up now. Like that's the point I'm trying to make. I'm watching the movie. I'm like, all right, I'm sitting up now. I'm even more invested now because I
Yeah,
love stuff like that. Have you seen a movie called Born to Fight? It's a
no,
film in Thailand. Same thing. Similar situation where you have these athletic team that goes out to this village to kind of visit and stuff like that, and then you have these mercenaries show up and they just have to fight back. Like the mercenaries take over the village. It's fantastic stuff. Check it out. It's called Born
all
to
right,
Fight. It's really
I
good,
will check that.
really good. But yeah, I love that sequence. And I love how you actually showed a little bit. It took some time to show that the rebels are training and actually working together, to actually concocting like plans to ambush the aliens and free other humans. I enjoyed that, and it's the little things, little details too. I like how now you're seeing the alien helmets on vehicles. Our rebel vehicles driving around. They got alien helmets. They're like taking them as trophies. They even hanging up bodies, and you got the one guy flipping them off like that. I was like, welcome to Earth. I think you took it to a whole other level, and I like it.
Yeah, yeah. We have to try to think of something different. Yeah, I mean, you got to try to do something fresh.
Yeah, but it was fun. I enjoyed that. And then, unexpectedly, because Independence Day doesn't do this, even Resurgence, you take time out to show a sympathetic side to the aliens. That was very unexpected. I did not, see that coming at all, especially with the character of Amelia. She's starting to see things very differently. And she's seeing, the Greys with their children suffering and stuff because the humans are blowing up their bases and stuff like that. So she's seeing she's seeing the horrors of war. Like she gets it. We have to survive. It's all about humanity. But at the same time, she's seeing that they're kind of suffering too. And maybe not all of the Greys on board with this whole invasion thing. I was not expecting that at all. That was kind of fresh.
Yeah, that was a huge part of the pitching process for me. Like I said, you go do something fresh, and like I said before, I'm a fan of history, and I look back on World War One and World War Two, especially World War One. Just kind of, I mean, the soldiers in the trenches, they didn't hate each other. There wasn't like Nazis back then. Like they were just ordinary guys, came out for that Christmas truce, and they shook hands. And they went back and started shooting each other. Like all these stories that I'm very fascinated with. And then at the end, they just signed a peace treaty, and it's like, that's it. That's it. We're going back home now. I kind of look back on history and think like, what if these aliens are just like so many parts of our history, Chris Columbus or Captain Cook coming to countries that just happen to be like inhabited, and they're like, well, that sucks, but we're here now too. Like there's lots of themes in there that I find interesting. And of course there's wars and that, because that's what you see all the time. Look back on our history. Someone rocks up in another country and there's a war. Like, so it's kind of just like the first contact intergalactic war in a way.
Right. And you find out that they lost their planet. So they're just trying to basically survive here. They're just doing it on an aggressive level, trying to take over, Earth.
Exactly.
But yeah, I was not expecting that. That kind of took me for a loop there, but I enjoyed that. It was different, and especially the scene where the movie for me got dark. I was like, "Yo, what is happening right now, man?" When you have the sequence,
I know exactly.
Tamura, they capture one of the Greys. And of course, Amelia is trying to communicate and see what's going on. She's trying a different approach with the aliens. And Tamura, he's all thinking vengeance, man, because they kidnapped his wife and kid, and he doesn't know if they're dead. He doesn't know, and he just goes in there and beats the. We can do spoilers for this film. This movie's been out for a while, but it beats the alien to death, and our hero, who is Dan, who's our hero in a way, is just sitting in the back watching the whole time, just like sitting across the chair like this. no emotion. I was like, whoa, what is happening right now? But go ahead.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, it was a great scene to shoot. It was a great, everyone enjoyed that
I
day.
was
Like,
just
for
like,
me,
what?
yeah. For me,
Because
there's nothing more interesting than having a group of people in a scene and having
yeah,
different points of view, because that's what makes it obviously drama. So yeah, it was a really good
yeah,
scene.
and you can see Dan and Amelia having problems because they're an item, and you can see them struggling with their different views about the war and how to handle things. Very interesting, man. It's
Yeah, and
very interesting, but
I knew straight up there'd be people that didn't agree with it, and it was very interesting for me online
no,
to read all the comments. Like, as a filmmaker, I tried not to, because the internet's the internet. But
no, I got you.
you go on Twitter, on IMDb, and there's all these comments going, "Oh, that Amelia chick, oh, she's the worst because she's letting aliens run the country. Like, you just kill them all." And I'm like, wow, this people are like some like, okay, you just like straight down the line. Doesn't matter if they're not saying things, just kill them. And I'm like, okay.
It's one of those things, right? Do we fight Thanos or do we agree with what Thanos is doing in the Marvel universe? It's one of those things, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like that scene, I was like, what is happening right now? This is crazy shit. But I like it because you know why I like it? I like it because broken heroes are always more interesting than the perfect, clean cut, goody two shoe heroes that we've seen a billion times over and over again.
Yeah.
And some of those heroes we like for some reason. It could be the personality or their abilities. But it's really interesting when you see the hero struggle, when you see the conflict. It's very interesting instead of just your cookie cutter. Here's your Will Smith for the movie. He's completely
Yeah.
perfect in every way. Will Smith's fun in Independence Day. He made us laugh. But
Yeah.
it's nice to see different. And Broken Heroes to me is always going to be more interesting than your usual cookie cutter type of thing. So I enjoyed that. I really did enjoy that. Just Dan just sitting there, the character of Matt, just sitting there watching him beat him to death. I was like, dude, occupation got real, son. But yeah, let's keep it going here. But my favorite, I think, quote in the movie is they ask the military guy, all right, what's the plan? And he goes, cause a distraction, break your people out, save the fucking planet. I was like, that should have been in the trailer, but then that would have ruined the quote.
Yeah.
But did you
Yeah,
write
it's like,
that, or was that ad-libbed?
no, I wrote that. It's a cut down version. In the script, it was a bit longer.
Oh.
And in the edit, I chopped it down to make it more concise.
Yeah.
That shot was actually a reshoot on the first. I think we had it scheduled for the first day of filming, and it was really manic the first day, and cameras were all everywhere. And then I looked back on the dailies, and I'm like, we need that line, and we need it good. So I
Yeah.
went back and reshot it in like a much more dramatic way.
Yeah, that was
So,
great. I laughed at that. I was like, I like that. I like that. I'm on board with that. But another thing I didn't see coming is, excuse me, is our hero, Matt. He's so obsessed with killing the Greys that he ends up leading his team and going against good judgment. And half of the team get killed and he gets knocked out. And then the movie, he's pretty much gone for a while because he's still knocked out. Of course, they take his body to the military base where he's recovering there. And I was not expecting Amelia to kind of take the lead temporarily for a while. And the whole the rebel crew that was with her kind of follow her into the battle so they can raid the alien headquarters in that area to stop the bioweapon, obviously, and to rescue their families that are still in there. I didn't see that coming. Again, interesting, man.
yeah, it was interesting. So it just evolved. For me, evolved.
And it didn't feel forced.
Yeah.
It didn't feel forced. It was just kind of like, that's just how her character was. Let's go, right? But another thing I enjoyed was who designed all of the alien tech. I enjoyed the armor, the guns, all that stuff.
So that was designed. A lot of it was sketched out by me really early on. So it's from my
nice.
head. And then we had a company in Melbourne that sort of made it real and practical because it was all up against it. It's been a couple of years now, but I can remember that I only got the shots of the actual finished suits the night before we were filming. So I'm like lying in bed. It was like 11 o'clock. I get a text message. I'm freaking out. Like, oh my God, like how are we going to film tomorrow with what,
Yeah.
And I get the thing. I'm like, okay, there it is. Can't do anything about them now because we're filming tomorrow. But, luckily they were, they got us through. They got us through.
Nice, nice. But yeah, I enjoyed all of the gun tech, all the alien tech. Period.
Yeah, it's
The
something different.
ships, the designs. Really
Yeah,
enjoyed all of
yeah,
that. That was really really well done. So props to everybody that made that happen.
yeah.
But tons of action in this movie, man. Explosions. I love all the action at the end. But I really enjoyed.
I'm the helicopter pilot. That's my cameo.
I know. I saw that. Did you have a cameo in the next one?
No, just my voice.
Oh, you
Just,
should have
it
you should
was
have threw yourself in there. Or
brain Paul was like way too busy for me. I was doing everything, so I couldn't do a cameo.
It's all good. It's all good. But what I was really enjoying about the action finale, you had like, just gun battles on the ground, in the air, everything. But what really sets it apart and makes it exciting, it's not just nonstop shooting, because nonstop shooting can get boring. But what I liked what you did was the camera angles, man. You made things fast paced and entertaining and exciting because of all the different camera angles. You had these sweeping camera angles during the finale, and one of my favorite shots is for the finale was you went first person view for a second there, which was
Yeah,
really awesome, man. I wanted more of this, but
I
that was
know,
pretty.
right?
That was pretty
I know,
good.
I know.
The
Yeah, we
one
had all these cameras hooked up on all the troops, and I was able to cut between different things. I had it all set up so I could do that. And it's funny because I sent it off to all the the adults, all the guys selling the film in America, and that. And
Yeah.
the feedback came back. They're like, "We don't like the first person angles. Cut the first person angles." I
Boo.
was like, "Oh man, like they're cool."
Boo. So I was cut down. So that was actually a longer scene.
A little bit, yeah.
A little
Like
bit more.
I said no. I said no. I'm going to keep them.
Okay.
You know,
Okay. Good.
you have to
But
fight
yeah,
for
I
something.
enjoyed them.
Yeah, I enjoyed them too.
Yeah, and there was like this one crazy shot where the camera's like upside
Camera.
down and it
Yeah,
just swivels back up. That
yeah,
was really cool. But
yeah. We
yeah,
shot some of that on like on a pickup day. We sort of had a month off, and then I sort of edited the film together, and then sort of isolated some scenes I wanted to shoot. Like the helicopters were only added later on in the
oh,
pickup day.
nice.
They
Okay,
weren't originally part of the whole sequence. So
nice. But yeah, tons of action. Really, some great use of slow motion here. I enjoyed
yeah,
that. But again, did not see it coming with Amelia be kind of just taking the lead temporarily,
mm,
because she thinks her man is down for the count. But the cool thing is, Matt isn't down for the count, and he's going off, having his own little single side mission as well. So everybody
yeah.
kind of worked together there.
Yeah, and it's great because his little side mission with the alien little leader thing is Bruce Spence from
Humans.
right. For the actor that played him is from the Road Warrior franchise, the Gyro Captain.
Oh
Bruce,
shit.
yeah, he's also
Okay.
Revenge of the Sith, and he's the
Yeah,
train
yeah,
man.
yeah.
It was great getting like a pop culture icon like him to come in and play the aliens. That was fun.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. How cool is that? Yeah, that guy's great, man.
Yeah,
But yeah, he kept saying that. He kept saying that humans. He's like annoyed every time we do
yeah.
something or we say something smart back to him. He's like humans. I was laughing. And
I
like
was
that's
laughing.
us, man.
I was
But
laughing too. That's the way I edited it. It was funny.
but yeah, very entertaining flick, man. And of course, you got to have the iconic badass shot at the end there. I think Amelia
Yeah.
looks like she's laughing a little bit on the side.
I think they were having
Amelia, what are you doing? But
I think they're having a little too much fun on that take. It was like one of the last shots we did of the actual whole
yeah,
filming. So I think
yeah.
they're all kind of in high spirits, like
Nice. Hey, that's a good sign, right? Everybody having a blast making a movie. That's what it's all about, man. That's what
yeah,
it's
it was
all
hard.
about.
It was hard that show, but it was fun, and we got through it quite quickly. And yeah,
How long did
it
it
was
take to film?
6 weeks.
6 weeks? That's it?
Yeah,
Oh my God, that's pretty awesome. I mean, is that considered long? I think that's kind of fast, isn't it?
it is fast
Wow.
for a like American Hollywood film. I guess
Right.
it was fast.
That's
Yeah,
pretty impressive. Definitely
yeah,
pretty impressive here. Another thing
yeah,
that I liked about the movie was, again, inspired by Red Dawn and Independence Day and stuff like that. But as much as we love Independence Day, you kind of get tired of the usual cliche of, hey, let's just take out the mother target which conveniently sets all the other targets all the way around. Everywhere else in the world, they shut down. Oh, how convenient, right? It's fun for Independence Day, but we keep seeing that over and over and over. Just take out the Death Star, we'll be all right, right? Which worked for the Death Star, Empire Strikes, Star Wars. It worked for the '80s, it worked for Return of the Jedi, right? But
Yeah,
it's kind of a cliche thing, right? I
it
like
is.
the fact that this movie didn't end that way. I like the fact that it didn't have this Disney ending where the baby that got born in the movie didn't end up with its parents by the end of the movie. It's war,
Right.
son. It's
I know,
war.
that was pretty dark. I had
Hey,
lots of conversations, lots of producers pushing back, saying you can't kill them both. You got to keep one parent alive. And I'm like,
no,
do we have to? Like, why? Like, can we say
no.
something different? Yeah.
It's war, man. This is what happens. And I like on the left there. What's the character's name again? On the left of Matt,
The character named Arnold by Charles.
Arnold, right? Yeah, is
Yeah.
he Uncle Arnold's gonna take care of the baby? It's okay.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Pretty much.
Yeah, and of course it ends with Amelia, approaching things differently and trying to reach out to the aliens, kind of be like, "Hey, do you want the war to continue, or we can try to work together?" You know what I mean? I like
That was,
that.
yeah. You got it, man. Like exactly how I pitched the ending. I said I don't want the Independence Day trope. I don't want
Yeah,
the Star Wars Episode 1 where the battle droids all fall down and everyone's like, "Oh, we won because they destroyed the ship." Like I said before, World War One and World War Two, they're messy. It's messy stuff. Like to
yeah,
get through,
yeah,
it's not perfect.
yeah. So, Occupation, very entertaining flick, my friend, and congratulations, getting Best Feature Film there. The Australian Screen Industry Network Awards. How awesome is that? Congratulations
Yeah,
to that.
yeah, that was
And it
really
looks like
good.
everybody just had a blast, man, making the
Yeah,
movie.
it was fun. It was a fun film to make.
So
Yeah,
after I watched it, I had to watch the second one. So
well, the
I
second
saw
one.
the trailer for it, and I was like, "All right, I'm loving it because again, it's not like everything's fine, yay." She reached out to the alien, shook its hand, and everything's great. The end. No, son, this is war. We gonna keep it going. All right, that's just how it is. It doesn't just end just like that. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
So we conquered battle, at the end of the first movie, but there's still tons of grays everywhere else,
yep.
bases. So Operation Rainfall. So did you already have the script to both of these movies written out, or you just did the first one? You're just like, okay, let's evolve and let's see
Yeah,
how it works. Okay.
I really wanted it just to be a one and done. I really saw
Oh,
Occupation.
okay.
That's why I finished it. Just like I finished it in a way where because of what we talked about, how I wanted it to be not a perfect ending. I finished it where it was open ended, I guess. Luckily for myself, and it wasn't until I was editing the part where they kill the alien, they smash him over the head, the one you're talking about. I
Yeah.
edited those scenes together, and then Amelia's response and a couple other little things together, and I thought, you know what, there's more to this story. Like there's some interesting aspects here that I'm interested in, and that's where I sort of went to the producers and said, I think there's more to this. I think there's more stuff in my head I want to get out, and that's where I came up with the idea for Rainfall. So
Nice.
towards the end of the editing process, so by the time the film had come out, I'd already had the script written. During the time between delivering the film and then it coming out. So, yeah, it was a very interesting process, that film. And, I said straight up, I said, this time we're going to do it big. This time we're going to go full ball. And
Oh,
do
it's
a whole,
bigger.
yeah,
It is
yeah,
definitely more grand, more action, more fighting, more everything. Shit, the samurai guy, that's my shit now. You're increasing the action and the violence. Samurai gonna be there. We're gonna have some fun. So
yeah.
was this a lot more challenging to film?
Oh, yeah. It is the most challenging thing I've ever done in my life, like this movie.
Oh wow.
Like, so when I look back on that conversation where I said, hey, let's do this film, now I kind of shudder at the thought of even suggesting it because it's been like, it took 4 years, 3.5 years or whatever to get it done. And most of that is, not to put tickets on myself, but most of that's me doing like a lot of different jobs, a lot of, throughout every day. So it was
Right,
huge.
right.
Like I said, it was just, yeah, this is big. I can't even describe it.
Right. And you're gonna go even bigger now for the next one. Come on.
Yep. Yep. That's pretty much how it will go.
Oh, nice. And we'll get into that again. I'm gonna do my best to not maybe there might be little minor spoilers here and there, but not major spoilers, because I want chat, everybody watching right now, if you're into alien invasion movies, sci-fi action movies, you got to check this out, all right? Double feature this some bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way to do it. Just like when I had Liam O'Donnell on here. You got to watch Beyond Skyline, go right into Skylines. Friday night, midnight crowd, get the beer, get the pizza, let's go. That's what we do. And I put both of these movies in that category. Double feature night. Double feature night. Make it happen. That's right. You're going to have a good time. So here we go. So right off the bat here, again, we're thrown right into the war continuing, man. Like we fast forward a little bit in time, and the opening action, man. Like we got dog fighting, jet flying. I mean, we got boots to the ground action here. Again, loving the armor and the suits and the gun tech. Did you make any big major changes, or you just kind of kept the same designs for this movie?
I wanted to make sure it was similar, but I did say to everyone that I'm okay if we update it and continue it forward. So the suits are similar, but they did have upgrades to the armor to make them look a bit more militaristic and a bit more sort of body hugging and feeling. The helmets are the same, but we started to add like this war paint and other things on there. So,
yeah. And speaking of increasing things, in the first movie, you had the helmets of the aliens on vehicles. Now we have the skulls of the aliens on vehicles. I was like, all right, I can dig it. I can dig it. But again, throwing me for a loop again, sir. We have alien allies this time. So much time has gone by. Amelia's kind of been the figurehead and convinced some aliens. We're actually protecting some. They're actually in the colony that we're at. And, they're kind of joining the fight, But at the same time, you still have that conflict where the humans are like, you can do whatever you want, but we're going to still put our skulls on our alien skulls on our military vehicles, son. All right? Do whatever you want. Just don't let them get in our way. They're going to, So you still have that. And again, our hero of Matt still broken. He's still broken in this, man. He's even battle damaged. He looks pretty badass here. Let me see if I can find a decent shot here. Yeah, he's looking. That's a great shot in the film right there.
Yeah,
badass. And I love the story he tells of how he got damaged. And I'm not surprised that him and Amelia are not together anymore. There was already. It makes kind of sense. So we have a new actress playing the character now.
We do.
Yes. But it's great to see some of the same characters from the first film come back. It's great to see Marcus Chambers and Dennis. It's great to see everyone. And of course, Tamura in here. You gotta have him in the movie.
Yeah. But I wanted to make it all feel natural and in the same universe. It's great having this thing with Tamura comes back. It was good.
Yeah, and when you have those same characters show up and you're following these characters through this journey, you become bonded to them. You know what I mean? You're like, I know who they are. You just come attached, which is good, which is a good thing. But Lawrence, excuse me, McCoy. I think I said say it wrong.
Yeah, no, you said it right.
Oh, hey, all right, first time. He plays my favorite character in the movie. My favorite character is your favorite character as well. Favorite character in the movie, chat. Everybody watching. Gary the motherfucking alien, son. Gary the alien is the shit. This is my homie. Say we go out, we go bowling. That's right. This is my homie right here. Yeah, I loved him. I loved him playing this character. But that dude, I was already a fan of Lawrence from the Deadlands. I reviewed that on this channel a long time ago. That is a badass movie. Plus, he's been Lord of the Rings and all that stuff. Yeah. So shout out to Lawrence, son, from the Samurai Guy. But yeah, Gary the alien, man. We'll get to him. So, what inspired you to create that type of character of Gary the alien?
Well, again, it's keeping things fresh. Like I had to do something different. You can't go in and just make the same film again. And really, once I had that idea in my head, he really became maybe the heart of the film, but definitely if he didn't work, I don't think anything would have in the film, because it's all about, I guess, in a way, like Amelia's big crusade is for the souls of the aliens and how they can integrate into society, and he's kind of the spokesman for us as an audience.
Right.
of that. So I knew I had to have an alien character that was interesting and could be relatable and not something that you would want to kill, possibly, and then also have a secret at the end as well. So there's many different things that went into that character.
And I mean, we saw all kinds of different alien species in this one too. So how did you do the? Was it a combination of practical and CGI to do their
Yeah,
faces?
yeah.
That was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, yeah. Unlike the first film, this time we went half and half practical and half CG. Plus people on set wearing the armor or the clothes with blue heads on their on the heads and half things. So it was really interesting. But again, just another layer of things to worry about on top. But
Yeah, all kinds of different species in this, which was really interesting.
yeah,
And I even dug. I might be saying it wrong. Are they called the Voxes? What are they called?
yeah.
Vox?
The
Voxes,
yeah,
right? Yeah, these
yeah.
were fun. I had fun with these guys.
Yeah, originally I had a concept out of aliens riding horses, like Gary on a horse, and then I was
Yeah,
like, no, let's flip it and have Matt on an alien horse, like
yeah.
rather than just the basic thing. So they were actually riding horses on set with little tracking markers on them, and then we
Oh,
took the horses out and put in the CGs.
oh, nice, nice. That's how you did that. How cool is that? But yeah, we're opening up with a banger of action. We have this cool escort mission. They're trying to get the humans out of there. Just a banger, a very great crowd pleasing opening action sequence here. And here's our boy here, Matt. Just come on, you maggots! Like he's having a blast doing doing what he loves doing, which is
Yeah,
killing those grays. But yeah, broken heroes are just so interesting. This is one of my favorite shots of the movie here, right here.
yep,
That is amazing. Like I love that.
yep,
That bus is trying to get away, and the aliens are like, "Nope, we're coming right after you." But yeah, that's a
yep,
great
yeah.
shot. Was that a
That's
difficult shot to make? How long did
yeah.
it take to do
That
stuff
was
like that?
very couple of months just on that one shot.
Man,
So unlike the first movie, I
right,
was at this for a long, long time.
right. But yeah, let's keep talking about it, man. But again, Matt, and still dealing what he's dealing with. He hasn't really come full circle. He's kind of
No,
just forced to team up with Gary the alien, who's kind of like a translator.
he
Uh,
is. Yeah,
and
yeah. It
Amelia
was
even
so.
learned the language. Amelia learned the language as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's been enough time where I thought it made sense.
Hmm.
And Matt, he's kind of, I guess, at this point, I didn't. It's almost like a buddy cop situation going
A
on
little bit, yeah.
with him and Gary. It's kind of like this little buddy cop in Indiana Jones storyline that they go on to find the MacGuffin. And Amelia has her own, which is a bit more dark and serious storyline.
Right.
So I kind of wanted that Empire Strikes Back feel where
I
they're together at the beginning and then they split up on their own stories.
I enjoy the table sequence here. Let's
Yeah,
spoil it for chat. It made me
yeah,
laugh. That
yeah.
cracked me up. But this, without spoiling it, this was a big moment for me in this film. This is like my favorite sequence of the movie.
Okay,
This
cool.
whole sequence right here. I mean, I like a lot of the movie, but this was one where I was just like, oh shit, it's getting real again. And of course, this guy always enhances every scene. Tamura's
Yeah,
the man.
yeah,
But it's great seeing him return, especially with his daughter and all that. But yeah, just really good stuff, man.
yeah. It was a much bigger sequence. Like
Hmm.
cut down one that hasn't lost
Oh,
anything. Cut down one hasn't lost. What you see now hasn't lost really anything. It was just a bit more dialogue and a bit more back and forth between the two, only
right.
because they're good actors and it was good stuff. But I wanted that for people who have watched the first movie, because some people haven't, and I think this movie has a way you can still watch it without seeing the first one.
Yeah.
But if you have watched the first film, I really wanted a scene that calls back on Tem killing the alien in the first movie.
Yeah.
Now he's sticking up for the alien because you can see Gary's a nice guy. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I
Great
thought it was
scene.
a very
I love
interesting.
scenes like that because it tugs at the heart a little bit.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
makes you go, you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Don't make me
Yeah.
jump into the movie and whoop somebody's
Exactly.
ass.
Exactly. Well,
Uh,
that took us like 5 nights of
oh,
night
really?
shifts just to get that whole bit where the crowd rocks up and they talk and everything else. So,
But our boy Matt here, again, still struggling, still, you know, being that broken character, being very interesting, and just, he's not loving the fact that he has to work with Gary.
no.
He's really struggling with some things, but we want to ruin that. But then we get introduced to this guy. This guy right here, which I'm sure from those comments that you were reading, a lot of people agreed with what this guy was trying to do.
I have seen a lot of comments of people agreeing with him. It was great. It was great to get Daniel Gillies from the Vampire Diaries and that, and it was he's a really great actor and really method. So when he was on set, it was like super serious because
really
we all wanted it to be right, and he's fantastic to work with. But yeah, he just really got into the moment, which was interesting to see for his character in this film. So it was very
nice. Wow, he just went straight method.
Yeah.
But yeah, the war is continuing, man. We're preparing for war, man. We are preparing to at least try to end it here. And again, movies with inner turmoil and conflict, and you can actually see, you can kind of agree with both sides in a way. Like you can kind of you can understand, where Amelia's coming from, and then you can understand where he's coming from. Like it makes sense.
Yeah,
and
that's how I wrote it. I didn't want it just to be, I have to take my opinion out of the equation and just think for the characters and just really put it across to the audience so they can understand both sides.
Yeah. And another thing about the film is that there's no guarantee. Like, okay, you know what? I understand both sides, but I'm going to go with this character. Well, there's no guarantee that going with that character is going to come out fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very interesting that way. But yeah. This kind of stuff is like the best stuff for these type of movies, man, which we don't really get because let's be honest, a lot of alien invasion movies are very generic, and you don't really see stuff like that, right? The kind of stock characters, let's bring them in, let's fight the bad guys or the aliens, and let's go home. But when you start asking questions, see, think of it this way, Luke. You know a lot of those comments that you were reading, right? You put it this way. I'm sure you agreed with a lot of the comments, but the ones you didn't agree with, think about it like this. You struck an emotion with them, though.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I understand. Like, I always say, like, I don't care what people talk about as long as they're talking about something. The worst you can do is after watching a movie is just go, what's for dinner? Like, at least if you're talking about something, whether they liked it or not, it's still, you've got something out of it.
So how did you get Ken in here, man? Who's always hilarious. I loved him in Role Models.
Yeah, he was funny in that movie. He was on my list. I did a short list for my casting director of who I think could be in that role, and he was like on the top 5. And he responded back well, and we chatted on the phone, and he was in, and that was really it. It wasn't like it was just for me. I was like, great, we've got Ken.
It seemed like he was having fun with that character in the movie. But
yeah, we only had him for 3 days, so we had to shoot every single thing with him within 3 days, which was like super fast and really be really particular with what we were doing. But he still made the crew crack up like every time we did a take, and I've got like B-rolls of him doing other alternate versions.
Is there any outtakes on the Blu-ray?
I don't know if there's outtakes on the Blu-ray. I know there's deleted scenes on the Blu-ray, but there's not outtakes.
That would have been funny. Bloopers are always fun. But this I was not expecting. Steve.
Yeah.
Jason Isaacs, man. That guy's a legend too. Did the voice for Steve.
He did.
Yeah.
It was during COVID. We were doing the post during COVID, and I always knew we were probably going to change the voice from the on-set actor. And he was my first choice, and he responded straight away. And I got to have a 30-minute chat with him, which turned into 2.5 hours of talking about his career. So I got to have this whole discussion. And then he did it in the London studio while we were in the middle of lockdown, and it all worked.
Yeah, that guy's great. That guy's a legend, Jason Isaacs. But I feel if I was an alien, if I was a gray, I would be Steve. Just nothing but movie quotes nonstop.
Kind of reflecting to me, you know what I mean? It's my outlet to be like,
there you go.
Doing all this stuff with Steve so I can get it out of my system.
Oh man. But the finale battle action sequences did not disappoint, my friend. I mean, it definitely, the shit got real towards the end. And we had all kinds of aerial battles, dog fighting, all kinds of crazy stuff. We had fighting on the ground. But my favorite I was surprised with all of the melee combat fighting we had in here.
Yep.
I love their weapons,
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. I designed all those to do
especially
something
when
different.
one of them actually it was like a sword, and then when he raised it up, he like flicked it and it became like an axe.
Yeah,
That was really cool, man. I was like,
yeah,
what?
yeah, 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 yeah. Again, to do something different, and like you said before about shoot 'em ups, it gets very repetitive. So I had to sort of think of other ways to
Yeah.
jazz it up a little bit.
Yeah, I actually like that chase sequence earlier too. That was really well done with Gary driving.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah,
was really
that's
good. I
yeah,
enjoyed that a
yeah,
lot. But yeah, we had some straight up alien duels in here, man. Like I was like, what? We got alien duels, combat fighting, slicing each other up. I'm like so sold right now. But the design of these guys here, I know this is kind of dark,
yeah.
was a little bit predator esque in the helmets.
It was very Predator-esque in the helmets. Again, I saw them a day before we were filming, and I know you got the poster up there. I see the poster.
I have no problem
And
with this.
no, when they came in, I sort of rattled off a whole bunch of movies I like, and then they're like,
Yeah.
okay, and they came back, and I sort of looked at the helmet, and I went, it's a bit Predator-ish, but we're gonna film tomorrow, so okay.
Hey, it's fine though. But I like the war paint on it. But yeah,
Yeah,
straight up alien duels, combat with these badass weapons. This whole fight sequence in this room was great. This might be my favorite action sequence or one of my favorites in there. Is
yeah,
this straight up just dueling, man? Like
yeah.
alien dueling. We have the character of Matt, just him going doing crazy shit on the side, shooting guns. Everyone's just like in survival mode at this point. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, it was pretty crazy to shoot, and it was crazy to edit, and
yeah.
yeah, I really enjoyed it. I didn't want to cut it. It's one of my favorite sequences.
And without spoiling anything, because again, I want you guys to watch this movie. The scene at the end with Gary and another character, very well done, my friend. That's all I'm going to
Thank
say.
you,
Very well
thank you.
done. I don't want to spoil it.
I know exactly what you're talking
Uh
about,
huh.
and thank you. Like
And I
it
was
was
like, finally, movie, you got me. I'm so on board with this character now.
okay.
Because up to that point, I was like, man, he's very interesting, but uh, you know, now it's like let's go, let's do this now for the next one. So, but yeah, that got me. That's what I don't want to spoil none.
Good, good. I'm glad.
Uh, but yeah, the sequel, man. Let's. I know now. Is the script done for the next chapter?
The script is done.
Okay.
Yep, delivered it to everyone. It's in the middle of casting at the moment. It's
Oh, nice.
out with some actors, so it's a long process because actors are very busy and they come back to you when they want to come back to you. So it's for me. I'm just working on other projects while I'm waiting for that to do its thing. So,
Right.
but
Nice.
it's going to be soon. And once the cast is together, it'll be on its way.
Oh man, I can't wait for it. I already to show support. I already bought the first two. Like I'm there. Like I have to show
Thanks.
support.
I guess without going into too many spoilers, because if I can't spoil Rainfall, I don't want to spoil the next one. But
right. That's why I was just like
like
minor
yeah,
spoilers, but that's it. Not too much.
yeah. I guess all I can say is that it gets bigger. It just keeps building.
Oh man,
Just keeps
great.
building.
I can't wait. And again, I mean, look at all these reviews. Like everyone's just having a great time with this, man.
Yeah,
Delivers the
yeah.
goods, real cinematic muscle, an absolute spectacle, action packed, full of visual splendor. And now I regret buying it digitally because I would love to have a physical copy because I have an all region Blu ray player. So I do have some Umbrella products already. But I was like, no, I didn't know it was on Blu ray, but it's all good.
Well, it got released in America on Blu-ray last month, so
It did?
you don't need a whole
Oh.
region. It's out there, and
Oh, shit. Oh, well, that's good to know. There you go. There you guys go. If you guys want to buy it on Blu ray over here, it is
Yeah,
out over
exactly.
here.
Yeah, one of my favorite deleted scenes that I was held onto as much as I could was originally Tem's character had the baby from the first one
Oh,
in the house.
okay.
He was looking after it, and Dan has this whole, Matt's character has a whole heart to heart saying that he was there when his dad died, and the whole big thing that we had to eventually just cut the
Oh,
entire sequence. So I wouldn't say it's a regret, but
yeah.
I'll work the kid in maybe with Arnold coming back. Who knows?
Okay. That I would love that. That'd be great because Arnold was a great character.
He
You know,
was. He was.
you don't think I can handle this? I've been married 3 times. That was great.
Yes. Yes. It's a good
But
line.
again, man, congratulations on your success for both of these films. I can't wait to see the next one. Keep the sci-fi genre going and kicking. And I don't want to keep you too longer, but what's this coming out? This next project?
Yeah, that's my new TV series based on a fantastic trilogy of books that I've got the rights to for the last couple of years. Actually, I got the rights back in 2015. I've been developing it. It's, if you like sci-fi, if you like alternate history type thing, it's this time travel show that takes a modern fleet of warships and crew back into World War II, when the whole timeline changes, and we follow their stories, and it's nuts, and
Oh
hugely
man,
excited. It's going to be I tell you, it's going to be the next big streaming show. Like, it's really fun. I love it so much.
nice. All right, so there you go, guys. Something else to look forward to from Luke. Keeping it sci-fi. That's right. You think you might jump back into horror at some point?
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. Who knows?
Do it. Do it.
My wife, who's also one of my producers, she loves horror. So every chance she gets, she's always like, "Let's do a horror film. Let's do a horror film." So there's stuff whirling around in my head. I just have to find the right moment to do it.
You have done well, Luke. You married the perfect woman. Yes.
I like to think so.
Oh man, well this was a blast having you here, my friend. Chat, don't forget, keep up. That's right. Don't be left behind. That's right. Jump on the bandwagon now, so that way when the third movie, Occupation, comes out, it'll be even more exciting. ETA on maybe release date, maybe sometime next year.
No, I'll be filming next year.
Okay, so
I'll
maybe
be
the year
filming
after.
Maybe the year after.
Hey,
I know
as long as it's
takes a
coming.
while. It's
Yeah,
coming.
as long hey,
coming.
it's all good as long as it's coming. But I appreciate
My,
you.
my office at work is filled to the brim now with storyboards and concept art, so it's all underway. It just needs
Right.
in the right time to do
Okay.
it. So
Yeah. Plus, you don't want to rush it, right?
I don't want to rush this one. After coming off Rainfall, I know how big it all can get. So like, I'm taking my time and doing it the right way.
Right. Copy that, man. Hey, well, this was a blast talking movies with you, having you here on the show. Thanks again for hanging out with the Samurai Guy. Chat, don't forget, Occupation Rainfall. Make it a double feature. Grab the beer, get the pizza. That's right. Shout out to Sydney. Keep doing what you guys are doing out there, making cool movies. Luke, keep doing what you're doing. That's right, because you keep making badass popcorn entertainment like this, we will show up to watch. That's right. All right, man. Don't go anywhere, Luke. We'll see you guys. Oh, actually, chat, if you're watching right now, I'm going to be going live tonight at 10 o'clock. If you want to hang out with me for a live Q&A, hang out with Samurai Guy. So join me tonight at 10. But until next time, take care, guys. Don't go anywhere, Luke.